Once again, bound to be one entertaining race as the field of 22 trucks strong gets set to file off and around this 0.875 mile speedway. It has often been referred to as the short track that races like a speedway. It's one of the fastest tracks you're going to go to. It's one of the longest tracks you're going to go to, but not the longest. That right, reserved for the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, which will not be seen until race number 6. So the SK Modified Super Late models and Tour Modifieds will all be making appearances. For now, though, 22 trucks rounding their way through turns 3 and 4 for the second time before we go green flag racing. And we're once again happy that you're joining us on a beautiful evening as we get set to drop that green flag. Pace cars down and in. And it is in the hands of Nathan Orman. Green flag's out. Short Track Thunder is back. Green flag start throughout this field. You saw Stephen Colon trying to mount an assault on Nathan Orman around the outside line. It wasn't going to happen, though. Orman's going to clear down low. Stephen Colon filing in right behind. Deeper in the field, you got Eric Monaco and Ryder Chisholm trying to work together as they run down to the turns 3 and 4 as we are green flag racing from Iowa. So far, a good start throughout the field. We're double file way in the back like it's a high-speed pace lap, and you can see all these guys still trying to find ways around each other, trying to see who can go where, who can make the moves. And that is what's allowing these guys to stay side by side for this long, this deep into a green flag run already. Meanwhile, the fight for third starting to pick up as Monaco still battling it out with Ryder Chisholm. Stephen Colon is right in front of them. Nathan Orman, though, pulling out a half a second lead now on that 79 car. Chisholm worked so good on working that outside line. You can see that is what is really costing Eric Monaco at the moment. In his bid to try to go for a race win is having to fight it out with Ryder Chisholm here on that inside line, and he is going to get clear. Check it in a bit further down in the order. There's the 66 truck pulling clear of the 26, but immediately Chris York's going to throw it back to the inside of LJ Toledo with the 42 of Mitchell Hodak watching on. It's looking like that outside lane is the place to be if you want to make moves, as we also see Veronica Banky and James Winterbottom getting tight together. Meanwhile, the 35 of Mitchell O'Brien also in the fray. Ryder Chisholm on the move as he looks to the inside to Stephen Colon and completes the pass up the inside in turn number 1. Chisholm's through to second place. Now he's clear to try to run down Orman for the race lead. It's not a long race at all, as these guys know they got to get themselves sorted out quickly, as we see Jack Cooper at the moment in a battle with Shelby Little as they both try to race it out into turns 3 and 4. Shelby Little running that top shelf, trying to keep Cooper on the bottom, and on the bottom Cooper will stay, and he's going to do so to get clear of Shelby Little as they thunder down into turn numbers 1 and 2. Almost 3 wide, deeper in the field as the 20 of LJ Toledo James Winterbottom went way to the outside, clearing both Michael Brown and Veronica Banky. Meanwhile, the 35 of Mitchell O'Brien still trying to make up some ground, as Stephen Colon, meanwhile, is battling back for second. very dramatic field spread already throughout this race as drivers are struggling to get themselves sorted out. This is really one of those only points where that side draft could actually potentially play into effect, especially when we get deeper throughout this race. Iowa is one of those tracks where it can be so difficult to make passes, but these guys making it look easy at the moment as Cologne still fighting it out with Eric Monaco, who's not letting Cologne have it easy. Hodak throws it up the inside of Veronica Bankian, the Reims 22. Still has a nose in at the quarter panel, but it will be a cleared position for Mitchell Hodak up the inside of the 22 car in 3 and 4. Little by little, drivers are getting these battles figured on now as we look to Austin Wheeler and Timothy Benning still battling it out side by side. Ross McLeod right behind this grouping. The Caterpillar Ford F-150 going to pull clear. We continue to check with some of the battles further back. How about this one with Johnny Katnick and Colin Cropley? This is for 18th spot. Got Gordon Newville and Chris Baskerville not on the timing screens at the moment, but they are the bottom two on the racetrack, and they're going to stay there for the time being. Chris York looks like he's starting to lose a few spots as he's now trying to regain lost ground around the outside of Veronica Benke. He's got the 24 Linex machine, though, of Cynthia Stone and Timothy Benning breathing down his neck, and he's going to try to make that pass work, and he is going to go around the outside of Benke to pick up 12th. And how about James Winterbottom still side by side with Michael Brown? Meanwhile, front of the field, Eric Monaco starting to close down on current race leader Nathan Ormond just up the road. There you see the lap times. Nathan Ormond has been losing time very, very steadily back to Eric Monaco. He lost 0.4 of a second on lap 12, another 10.5 on 13, a 10th on 14. That gap has just closed under a second. Nathan Ormond is closing. It's another 0.25 second lost for Nathan Ormond. Eric Monaco is going to be all on top of him for the race lead before long. In a turn one, Michael Brown for the outside of the Sirius XM number 20 Chevrolet of James Winterbottom. Make that the Toyota Tundra as the 69 can't find a hole. But where he can't go to the outside, he's going to switch it back and try the inside now as he throws it into the inside of turn number one, drifting up a touch, but is able to keep that truck pinned to the bottom. But it will allow the 6.6 to still pull clear. Ormond has been caught by Eric Monaco. Battle for the race lead is on. To the outside is Ormond. Inside is the Home Depot Ford F-150. It's a Chevy V4 in battle side by side. Down the back straightaway. Monaco is clear with a race lead off of 4. Eric Monaco leads lap number 20 as Nathan Ormond is starting to drop back. Meanwhile, deeper in the field, Veronica Benke still losing time as Chris York just worked his way up and by her. That might open up the door for Timothy Benning. You've still got this massive pack of cars all clustered into one gaggle on the racetrack, including the 24. You can see he's going to sweep around the outside of the 76. Looks like Veronica Benke may finally stem the bleeding, but not before falling all the way down to 15th place. Jack Cooper and Ryder Chisholm do battling next to each other as Cooper's going to lose a place of the 13, but immediately try to take it back around the high side on the backstretch. And on the front stretch, got him clear by the time they hit start finish. Jack Cooper is mounting a press defense, but here comes Ryder Chisholm now wanting to take notes from the offensive side. He's going to go to the top shelf. But he can't capitalize off of 3 and 4. Jack Cooper's going to hang on to 4th place for now. 3 wide through turns 3 and 4, and up the middle is the 19 of Austin Wheeler. Inside, both Veronica Benke and Timothy Benning, and that's going to be 2 spots gained, trying to now make it 3, and that is 3 spots gained for the number 19. That was absolutely incredible moves there by Austin Wheeler to break past these drivers. Want to get a look at the replay on this one. This is going to be a lap in advance. Watch the 19, excuse me. The 26 slows up on the inside. That'll let the 19 into the middle. And then with the waste quit 26 still slow on the inside, the 19 is going to pull around and make a pass around the outside. That's 3 spots gained in just half a lap. That is incredible stuff from Austin Wheeler. Halfway over through tonight's race, Eric Monaco is catching up to lap traffic. This is the chance they might need to be able to close him in. Got the 15 of Chris Baskerville up high. Monaco trying to look around the inside now. He's going to get checked up on corner exit. Luckily at a track like Iowa, lap traffic is a lot more manageable. You got a lot more room to be able to negotiate around. It's not so tight of a racing service. So it looks like Monaco is going to be able to make quick work of the lap traffic here. Now just has to get around the 40 of Gordon Neufeld. Looks like a majority of the battles have all gotten themselves sorted around the Iowa Speedway as the sun starts to set closer and closer down towards that horizon. Got a few battles still close with each other. You got this one here between Micah Brown and Shelby Little as Brown has been trying to catch up and make the overtake on Shelby Little for the drop of the green flag. This is the fight for 6th place on the racetrack at the moment. really all the action is going on in the background here as the 91 and the 22 continue to battle that amongst themselves. That's Donnie Katnick that just got by Veronica Benke. Tell you what, Veronica Benke has had a rough race. She started all the way up in 5th and has been slipping further and further back ever since. She is now down 11 spots into 17th. Michael Brown's done waiting around. He's going to make a move to the outside of turn 2 and try to initiate the pass on Shelby Little. The Pepsi Challenger Chevy going up against the DoorDash 47, but he's going to back out in 3 and 4. Suppose not terribly confident with his abilities to make that pass stick. Eric Monaco continues to lead the way from the Iowa Speedway by almost 2 seconds worth over Nathan Ormond. Not 100% certain. I don't think there's going to be the chance of them catching up to lap traffic, even though they have not been able to leave each other alone for the drop of the green flag, as Colin Cropley tries to hang on to whatever spots he can. The DeWalt Toyota Tundra, though, about to lose out to Ross McLeod on the top shelf. Or perhaps not, as Cropley's going to pull clear. Kodak looking up top. Trying to get around LJ Toledo. Can he pull off an outside move around 1 and 2, I wonder? It's going to be tight. They're still going to be side by side, though, down the backstretch. Dead heat with each other as they hit 3 and 4. Still pushing, though, still working the outside line, forcing that 42 to stay pinned to the bottom. It's a great tactic from the 24 car to make sure that the 42 can't get momentum. Now he's pulled ahead, though, and will complete the pass on the back straightaway. More and more cars hitting lap traffic. The only 2 lap cars so far. 6th place now, about to lap the number 15. He's already lapped Gordon Neufeld. No real battles ongoing for the time being. It's more just follow the leader at this point in time during this race. Although we're about to have one here is Donnie Katnick with a great run off of 4. Will get to the inside of Timothy Benny and try to attack him into turn 1. How's that for making quick work? Katnick pulled alongside Benny by the time they entered turn 1. It was clear by the time they exited 2. 91 with some good late run speed, it would seem, but not going to be nearly enough to hang on. Five laps to go from the Iowa Speedway as one by one drivers continue to cycle their way around. There's Eric Monaco still with now a 2.2 second lead over the field, and catching up to Alex Benoit up in 20th place. Could possibly lap Benoit by the time we get around to that checkered flag with 4 to go. Veronica Benke still wanting to make up a couple of extra spots before the end of this race. Is stemming the bleed, and she's now down 12. I think just lost out to Ross McLeod down in the turn 3. Meanwhile, Stephen Colon has started to lose a little bit of time back to Jack Cooper, but I don't think Cooper's going to have much to say in this fight for third. And it's going to be final lap for Eric Monaco. .3 seconds back to Nathan Orman. No competition on the back straightaway. So as he exits turn number 4, Eric Monaco will win Stock Truck Cup race number 4 from Iowa. A couple of drivers trying to make last-minute passes prior to the end of this race, but none of them would be able to get there in time. Taking a look at the point standings, the race results. There we go, with Eric Monaco winning the race by 2.6 seconds over Nathan Orman in the 48. Stephen Colon will pick up the third position with Jack Cooper in fourth, Ryder Chisholm in fifth, Michael Brown in sixth, Shelby Little brings up 7th with James Winterbottom in 8th. Mitchell O'Brien is 9th. LJ Toledo rounds out the top 10. For they've got Cynthia Stone, Mitchell Hodak, Austin Wheeler, Chris York, Donnie Katnick, Timothy Benny, Ross McLeod with Veronica Benke just behind them. And then from there it is Colin Cropley, Alex Benoit is the first car lap down with Chris Baskerville and Gordon Dufeld to round out the field here tonight. And here are the championship standings. Eric Monaco overtakes Nathan Orman in the points lead. Now 3 up. Mitchell Hodak, the biggest loser out of tonight's race, he will drop 3 spots. Looks like Jack Cooper's the biggest gainer, though, as he'll pick up 2. That's all we got for now for the Stock Truck Cup. But don't go away. Super Late Model is going to be up before too long. We're back in just a moment. welcome back here to the Short Track Thunder at the Iowa Speedway. About to kick off the super late model division, as it'll be 19 cars for a 60-lap race for our second of 3 races tonight with Tour Modifieds coming on up in just a little while. It's going to be a fun race. We already saw the Stock Truck Cup put in an absolutely incredible race for us here today, as we get set to see what will be coming out of tonight's 60-lap race. Once again, looking at the championship standings over coming into this race, with Mitchell Hodak having won both of the opening races. He sits up there with 80 points. Stephen Colon has finished runner-up in both races as well. He currently has 70 to his name, with Nathan Orman down in third with 68 points. So, with all of that said and done, once again, high time that we take a rundown of how your field is going to shake up here tonight. Nathan Orman's on pole with Mitchell Hodak down in second. Stephen Colon is third with Ronald Pearson fourth. Jonah Tanner is fifth with Jeff Wallace down in sixth. From there, you've got Eric Monaco in 7th with Blake Mears in 8th. Timmy Richmond is 9th. Billy Mays in 10th. Colin Cropley is in 11th with Ross Colbert in 12th. From there, you've got LG Toledo in 13th. Alex Benoit in 14th. Mitchell O'Brien is 15th. Willer Burton is 16th. Michael Brown is at 17th. AJ Thompson is 18th with Matt Jones rounding out your 19-car field. So already this night has been going on very, very smoothly throughout this field as we get set to see what these 19 super late models will be able to do for us here today. As we get set to continue to go racing into the evening. Off of turn number 4, pace car is going to pull down and in the hands of Nathan Orman on that inside line. Green flags in the air. We're underway from Iowa once more. Mitchell Hodak trying to get clear. Stephen Colon will do so for second place off of turn number 2, as Colon's going to pull alongside with Ronald Pierce. And already looking to the inside for the race lead on Nathan Orman, trying to make a move. Throwing it in on the inside of the number 18. Side by side for the lead down the back straightaway, and Mitchell Hodak gonna take it off of 4, but not without Orman trying to fight back on the top shelf. So with Mitchell Hodak way up at the front of the field, going to take a look back at some of the cars deeper in this one. How about this fight between Jeff Wallace, Blake Mears, and Ronald Pierce, as some drivers already starting to slip backwards throughout this field. We're still side by side, way in the background here with mid-pack. And going to make it 3 wide with the 96 of LG Toledo going up the middle of both Billy May and Ross Colbert. They're going to make up the spot on the 51. Now you can see the 7, Colin Cropley, trying to look for the outside. Meanwhile, side by side for the lead again is Nathan Orman trying to take it away down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. But Hodak still hanging on for the lead on the outside line. Orman, though, to the inside. Watch that 45, though, trying to diamond off the corner and look at the run. But he's going to get up on the top side as the 18 still fights alongside for the lead. He's going to throw it into turns 3 and 4. just 5 laps into this race. We've already had 3 lead changes on the night. Make that 4 as Orman's going to go back and lead lap number 6. Single file all throughout the field as Mitchell Hodak's going to scream back to the inside of the number 18 and clear by the time they get off of turn number 4. So it looks like that's going to end up being a fierce fight for the lead all the way down to the checkered flag. Behind them, the 24 of Jeff Wallace looking to the inside of Ronald Pierce. And, Ronald Pierce right behind him. This is Blake Mears. He's trying to get around in the Alltel Dodge Charger. But to the outside is going to go the 24 as they thunder back down the front straightaway. Apologies for any stutters in the frame rate, trying to get that sorted as we speak with the 95 of Ronald Pierce to the outside of Jonah Tanner. And will secure a spot, though Tanner's going to try to fight back on the top shelf off of 2. And are we going to go 3 wide again on the back straightaway? Doesn't look like we will, as Billy May is going to back out in the iRacing 84. Still fighting with the 21 of Eric Monaco as Monaco tries to run that top shelf to get around the 84 car. Back down into turns 1 and 2. And it is still a side-by-side battle. The 21 car not willing to let go easily here. And we're back fighting for the race lead with Orman looking to the outside of Mitchell Hodak. He's got the run off of turn 4. He's going to sweep back to the inside and try to dive it up the inside of the 45 into turn 1. Using these races after the lead is sort of ones, these guys just trying to run away with it. Not the case, though, here at Iowa. With these super late models, that draft does actually play in a small factor on these straightaways, and that's what we're starting to see here, as now Mitchell Hodak will be the one to chase down Orman, who will lead lap number 15. Still got all these fights starting to shake up, as well as Jonah Tanner and Blake Mears about the same distance apart from each other, as Orman and Hodak are just a little bit up the road, except this time around, the O2's going to look to the outside. Jonah Tanner trying to make up time, as once again, side by side, Hodak found the outside line, and Nathan Orman did the turns 3 and 4. Orman trying to fend him off into 1. Seems like every time we look away from this battle, it's checking us something else. It just picks right back up again. Hodak and Orman very evenly matched, as I think Hodak just collected the outside wall a little bit off of turn 4 as he tried to run the outside. Hodak going to pull clear by about 4 car lengths, though, and now it looks like he's going to get set to try to run away. Hodak, for a long time, we've known has the long run pace, and it looks like Orman might have burned his stuff up too early. Field starting to spread out as this race goes along. There's Eric Monaco looking to the outside of Colin Cropley in the battle for 8th place. Heading up a bit of a train here with LJ Toledo in the Mustang right behind them. And you still got Billy May in the mix of this fight as well. Bit of a close nudge as looks at the 96, tried to force the 21 up, and that's going to end up paying off as Eric Monaco is going to lose out on a couple of spots. Meanwhile, Toledo now on the move, trying to make up another spot. That would have plus 5 so far on the day. When you're in a situation like this, you just get stuck on that outside line. You're at a bit of a crossroads as to what you're actually able to do in regards to making moves like this. I mean, the 21 car has the speed on the top side, but the problem is whenever he tries to get the run, the 7 car immediately moves up and blocks off that run because the 7's just following the racing lines. He's got to hope Billy May makes a mistake. It looks like May's going to make that mistake there as he allows the 21 to clear down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. And at the moment, this group of 4 cars here is the closest thing that we've got to a battle up there on the racetrack. Looks like that 21 car up there, Eric Monaco, is finally broken clear, and he can start to run away with this. Meanwhile, fights on for 5th as well between Blake Mears and Jonah Tanner. These two drivers have not been able to leave each other alone from the drop of the green flag, and it looks like this battle finally going to come to fruition once again. The all-tail Dodge up the inside of the 02 Chevrolet for Saints of Speed. And once again, that speed on the outside line in full display, but so is the speed that these super late models can throw it in on the inside line, as once again, Mears will clear Jonah Tanner. It's not going to stop Tanner, though, from trying to cross him over and run it down to the turn 1, and in fact, muscling the 80 up the hill, not letting them be pinched in. A close shave there, and that'll allow him to clear down the back straightaway, but here comes that 80 car back to the inside. This is one titanic battle we got going on for the final spot inside the top 5, but it looks like Jonah Tanner has finally overcome Blake Mears. Wow, this is all going on. Willard Burton has been put 1 lap down by race leader Mitchell Hodak, who is now almost 2 seconds clear of Nathan Orman. Over halfway so far throughout this race, and the battles are all in the mid-pack at the moment. It's just about everything throughout the top 5, as you can see on the track map, has spaced out to a considerable margin. This is still the closest bundle of cars we've got here. This constant battle for what is now 9 through 12, as these guys have been fighting out with each other. Ross Colbert has entered the fray from just behind them. And further back the order here, you've got Mitchell O'Brien and Timmy Richmond. They're fighting it out for 13th in 3 and 4. Hodak, meanwhile, has pulled now a 2.3 second gap here over Nathan Orman. Orman himself is a 2.5 seconds clear from Stephen Colon, so it's looking like it's going to be a 3rd win in a row for Mitchell Hodak if things continue in this manner with 20 laps now left to go. So far, the only caution we've actually had for a crash so far in Short Track Thunder altogether was actually in the season opener in the Super Late Model race at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, where you had 3 wide entering turn number 3, and that caused one car to end up getting spun around and up the racetrack. Other than that, it's been very smooth sailing so far across all of our divisions. You've still got the Tour Modified race to go yet before the end of the night. And then following that, we'll be moving on over to the 5th total short track Thunder race. That's going to be at the South Boston Speedway, one of the short tracks to go to a 3/8 of a mile speedway. It's going to be the stock division will be out for their 3rd race, followed by the limited modified series in their 60-lap event. Pro late models will be out for 60 laps as well. So just those 3 races will be had at South Boston. That should be a very, very short event as well. I think the next one, we're really going to be seeing just about all of our series in one go, and it will be all of our series actually at once. It's going to be at the Langley Speedway, where the stocks will be out for their round 4. So will the limited modified series. The pro lane models will be having their 5th race. The tour modifieds will have their 4th race. And the super lane models and stock truck cup will be having their 5th races as well. So Langley Speedway, definitely one race you're not going to want to miss in short track Thunder as we continue to work our way through round number 4 here at the Iowa Speedway. Really deep in the field, you've got Alex Benoit and Matt Jones fighting it out for the last spot on the lead lap, and right behind them you can see Mitchell Hodag has caught up to more lap traffic with 15 to go. And entering turn number 1, Blake Mears just got by Jonah Tanner once more. So Blake Mears making good use of the long run pace in his Dodge Super Late model as the Chevrolet of Jonah Tanner continues to try to run him down, and yet in the back, Billy May has been steadily making up more ground, and this time he's actually going to pull to the outside of Eric Monaco. So the Irish car trying to go against the Mac and Cheese and More machine. How about this one? This is a fight we haven't seen pick up in a little while. Ronald Pierce has caught up to Blake Mears and Jonah Tanner and is now trying to move his way back up through the order to regain lost ground as Pierce will look to the inside and overtake Blake Mears. But Blake Mears is going to use Jonah Tanner as a pick to try to fight his way back up through this little pack here. As Pierce holds firm in the run down to turns 1 and 2. Less than 10 laps to go over race leader Mitchell Hodag, who just took 8 to go, now almost 4 seconds clear of Nathan Orman. That will still leave 7 laps for these guys to fight it out for that last spot in the top 5. Malta still got in the last spot in the top 10 up for grabs, with Colin Cropley having lost a bit of ground to LJ Toledo. They've just gone around the 34 of Willard Burton. And now Toledo's going to look to the outside of Cropley to try to find a way through. Six laps left to go from Iowa. Going to be 5 the next time by around to the stripe. And despite being caught by loud traffic, Alex Benoit, Michael Brown, and Matt Jones are also wanting to fight it out with each other, but there's the 18 to Nathan Orman caught in the middle. Now we're going to go 3 wide. For a brief moment, the 35 was going to back out. Nowhere for Orman to go. Although at this point, it really wouldn't matter. He can't run down Hodak with a 5-second gap in just 3 laps. Jonah Tanner still trying to pick up whatever spots he can, as he's going to look to the outside of, or the inside, excuse me, of Ronald Pierce, and Pierce will try to fend him off. Meanwhile, Mitchell Hodak is making the rounds through turns 3 and 4. He's going to pick up the white flag. 1 lap to go in the Super Late Model division from Iowa. Orman fought hard in the opening quarter of this race, but Mitchell Hodak still has the long run pace to outlast him. Mitchell Hodak off of turn number 4 will win in Iowa. A last-minute overtake there for Mitchell O'Brien on Ryan Richmond at the line, as we will look down through your official race results at the end of this race. Mitchell Hodak, the race winner by 5 seconds over Nathan Orman. Steven Colon is going to bring up 3rd with Jeff Wallace in 4th. Blake Mears is down in 5th with Ronald Pierce in 6th. Jonah Tanner is in 7th. Billy May is 8th. Eric Monaco is in 9th. LJ Toledo will round out the top 10. From there, you've got Colin Cropley down there in 11th with Ross Coleman in 12th. Mitchell O'Brien and Timmy Richmond were the last cars on the lead lap. From there, you've got Alex Benoit, Matt Jones, Michael Brown, and Willard Burton finishing this race 1 lap down. Here's your current championship standings as we get set to leave tonight off of our 3rd race. Still no changes in the 3rd race of the season, although now Cologne is mighty tight with Nathan Orman for that 2nd spot, but they've got 16 points to make up on Mitchell Hodak, who is now 3 for 3 on race wins. That's all we got for now from the Super Late Model Series, but don't go away. We're going to wrap it all off in just a few moments here with the Tour Modified Series coming on up in just a moment. So we then get set to enter our final race here of the night from the Iowa Speedway for round number 4 in Short Track Thunder. It is, of course, going to be your Tour Modified division for their 60-lap race upcoming this time around. Second race for them on the season. Of course, they had their season opener just a little while ago over at the Hickory Motor Speedway. This track significantly longer, but it's not the longest track they're going to go to. That's going to be at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway coming on up in just a little while. Once again, going to run through what your starting grid is going to be looking like here for tonight's race, as Mitchell Hodak has taken the pole position away from Jack Cooper by about 3/100 of a second. Ray Fitzpatrick sits down in third. Denny Kane is all the way back in fourth. Eric Monaco is in fifth. Mitchell O'Brien rounds out the top 3 rows. Nathan Norman is in seventh with Denny Marks in ninth. Levi Bernard is in ninth with Paul Castle down there in 10th place. Ty Lawrence is in 12th with Rocco Mulder in 12th. Joy Renshaw is 13th with Micah Brown in 14th. Colin Cropley is in 15th. LJ Toledo is in 16th. Isaac Lovender is 17th. And finally, about a half second back, is Alex Benoit in the number 91. For there you got Kyle Sadler, Chris Law, and Gray Larson to round out the 21 car field here tonight. We get set to go racing one more time here in Short Track Thunder at the Iowa Speedway. Once again, bound to be a good race for the field here today. Just hoping that this race will go off without a hitch, and it should be a very, very quick 60 laps. These cars will be able to hit up to 145-ish miles an hour. Those were the fastest speeds all throughout practice. Not quite as fast as some of the other series that come around here, but still pretty fast considering they're going to be near topping out these Whelen Tour Modifieds. I want to once again thank everybody for taking the time to join us here for what's been an amazing Short Track Thunder event. Pace cars down and in. Green flags out. We're underway. Mitchell Hodak already breaking clear with that race lead down into turn number 1 once more. About 0.4 of a second clear, still fighting down for second. Cooper and Fitzpatrick. Cooper is up top. Fitzpatrick down low as they hightail it down the back straightaway back into turn number 3 for the second time tonight. Behind them, Eric Monaco in the number 3 making moves as he's going to look to the inside of Ray Fitzpatrick now. Look out for that 31 car up top as well. Denny Kane, Nathan Norman in the Red Bull machine, also trying to see if he can't find a hole to sneak up the inside further on down into this race. Side by side, all the way throughout this field. Hodak has pulled a half a second clear at the moment as we are still 2 abreast in almost the entire field. Down the back straightaway, back to turn number 3. Drivers so far not giving each other a whole lot of room to work with. Couldn't expect them to do so at such a high-speed track like this with the modifieds. Danny Kane, still the driver, trying to make a move on Nathan Norman. This is for 4th place at the moment as he'll take it down into turn number 1, get the 31. Push up and past the number 60. Doesn't look like he'll be able to. The 98 of Ray Fitzpatrick tucking in line just behind them as Fitzpatrick to the low side. Can he hang on? No, not quite there just yet. One of Mitchell O'Brien trying to see if he can't find a hole as well. Even all the way down here at the back of the pack, you've still got drivers taking moves like Paul Castle trying to get around the outside of Rocco Mulder, but so far no room for that number 57. Mitchell Hodak has been starting to lose ground. Back to Jack Cooper. Cooper starting to close in the gap for the race lead. All the while, you've still got the 23 of Ty Lawrence making moves as well as he'll look to the inside of Denny Marks. He's already up 4 places where he started this race. He is definitely the biggest mover in this one. So keep one eye on Lawrence as he'll continue to claw his way up to the field, I'd imagine, as this race continues to drag on. Nathan Orman has not been able to break clear of Denny Kane at all. I mean, Denny Kane is still really fighting that inside line at the moment. It's been a rough ride for Nathan Orman. He'll finally get clear of Kane, but that's not going to keep 31 from looking back to the inside with a crossover move down to turn number 1. And just like that, Orman's going to find himself on defense. And look at the speed the 31 could carry down through turns 1 and 2. That last line by still ahead by the time they hit turn 3, and he'll clear in 3 and 4. Gonna keep it to the inside though, giving the run back to Orman up on the top shelf, but if he can continue to have a solid run in turns 1 and 2, it would not surprise if we saw him clear within a lap or 2 here. So difficult to pass at the Iowa Speedway. You really have to work to set up these drivers in advance and really kind of take any kind of speed you can out of their sails early. Spain continues to work the top shelf, trying to now get around that of Eric Monaco. So Denny Kane starting to make moves again. He's back up to 4th. If he can get around Monaco, that would be for 3rd. Then he'd finally be in the net positive where he started this race. But Kane still struggling to find any kind of speed. Eric Monaco keeping it way to the inside, trying to defend against 2 different drivers here at the moment. Nathan Orman trying to work his way through. Thought about 3 wide up the middle. Forced to back out though as Monaco covered him off. But now looking for the lowermost line. You've also got the 46 here. Denny Marks in the middle of the fray. He's going to follow Denny Kane around on that top side. The 2 Dennys looking to be working together here as they continue to scrap it out for the final podium position. Orman still looking for that lowest line but on the inside, but he's just not able to find a hole to get through. He's going to stack up, though, the 98 of Ray Fitzpatrick as he checks it up into turn number 1. Right behind them, O'Brien still battling it out with Levi Menard and Ty Lawrence. Looks like these are how your battles are going to shake up. You're going to have this one concentration on for 3rd on back to about the 7th position. Then it's going to be kind of everybody else just gathered up into their own little clicks throughout the field. This fight still the one that's heated up the most and the one that's furthest up the grid. 17 still running together in place. And the 17 going to lose ground up on the top shelf. And just now, finally, this pack of 5 gets themselves single filed out for the first time here at the Iowa Speedway. Still have Mitchell O'Brien trying to get around the outside of Ty Lawrence, the 23 car, trying to fend off the 1. Levi Menard right in the fray as well. Levi Menard still running that bottom side with O'Brien up top. So far, it's been a fairly solid going then for us here in tonight's race. We'll continue to work our way through the event tonight and see if we can't pick up any more battles. The 17 really forcing that number 1 car up, not wanting to give him any kind of headway here to get himself sorted up there at the front of the field, it would seem. O'Brien going to fall back. Nathan Orman once again putting Eric Monaco under pressure as the number 3 is going to get bumped down into 5th place here. You've now got as well Danny Marks trying to get around Monaco now as he'll look for the inside line as we hit lap number 25 of 60 in the second Tour Modified race of Short Track Thunder. Talk about how fast these cars can be. I don't think this track really does it justice, just how quick these cars can lap around a speedway. I mean, they're already kind of flat out. This is essentially like an auto club equivalent to these Tour Modified cars. I think the next time we see them out, just trying to look through my notes here as we continue to work our way through this final race at the Iowa Speedway tonight. Next time we'll be seeing the Tour Modified series out will be over at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway for their 3rd race. It'll be another 60-lap race there, and that's just going to be pure pack racing for these cars. And if you've seen some of the races there that occur in the real world, you'll know it is so difficult to be able to go a race without having some kind of pile up there. So that's going to be a fun race, to say the very least. We're also going to have the next race up in South Boston where the stocks, SK Modifieds, and Pro Late models will all be out for their next races. That should be a very quick one. Still looking forward to Bristol, though, for round number 12. Bristol's always been one of my personal favorite short tracks, and hopefully we'll be having an entertaining race over there. That will be on round 12 of Short Track Thunder. There's going to be a whole host of our series going to be out there as well. I believe just about everybody going to be making appearances. The battle further up is getting itself straightened out. We'll take a look at some of the flies deeper in the field. Actually, let's check away at the back of the field entirely. This is a 4-way scrap at the moment for 15. You got Colin Cropley, Isaac Lovender, Kyle Sadler, and Paul Castle, all under a blanket here in the 4-car battle. Lined up that 41 of Sadler at the moment as Isaac Lovender is side by side with Colin Cropley. Cropley is over on the bottom. He's going to lose out as Lovender will push here from the outside line, and they're going to get themselves straightened on out. How about Eric Monaco still having to work to defend against the charging 60 of David Orman, is going to get checked up here behind this 76 U-Haul and Unical machine. That is Gray Larson, who is now in the first car lap down, being held up. Danny Marks going to get clear, and Nathan Orman, I think, will just be able to escape for 6th place here as well. over halfway through this race. Let's take a round aboard some of these drivers, and we'll give you a feel of what it's like to be driving around the Iowa Speedway. It does give you an idea of just how quickly things can happen here as now Dave Norman tries to make the move on Eric Monaco to go for fourth place. Meanwhile, Jack Cooper has been under fire by Denny Kane for some time now for second place now, as Cooper has steadily fallen back to Hodak, who is now 2.6 seconds clear of the rest of the field with under 20 laps to go. So far, it has been a completely clean race so far. Nobody's even so much as scraped the wall. It's been a very textbook race at the moment for the Tour Modified Series. They've just been kind of going out there and doing what they do best. I remember the Hickory Motor Speedway race. There was a lot of excitement that happened over there. You had constant three-wide action. You had a couple of instances with cars actually making contact with each other. They actually get up and scrape the outside wall at points as a result. But now here we are, about to enter our final quarter of the race, and there hasn't been anything of the sort here at Iowa, but it is a much wider racetrack, it's a much faster racetrack too, so it does allow for, I guess, more maneuverability would be the right term phrase. For a place for drivers to go and put their cars, and that means you're not going to be seeing those incidents quite as often here. 15 laps to go. While we're watching these cars move around, I want to just quickly plug a series that's going to be coming to the channel called Dirt Clash. It's going to be taking place on Saturday nights, starting at around, or practice actually will be up at around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's about 5:30 Pacific. It's going to be 10:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time for any Aussies that might be in on that series. It is going to be open, of course, to the public. All races will be streamed live to the channel. Currently, you're looking at 360 sprint cars, Pro late models, and 358 modifieds. If you're interested in joining that, there will, of course, be a link to the Discord server in the description where you'll be able to pop on in and hopefully get yourself involved. This is, of course, going to be exclusively on iRacing. Kicking off on October the 19th here. Sorry, October 15th is when this is going to be started. We'll be kicking it off with the Pro late models over at the Knoxville Raceway. The 358 modifieds will be at Lucas Oil Speedway. 360 sprint cars at the Volusia Speedway Park. So that's once again going to be Dirt Clash. Join that by either just finding the sessions on iRacing when they go up on the screen, or by hopping into the Discord server for further updates on the series. So we're continuing to work our way through the Iowa Speedway, and now more lap traffic in the way. Chris Law being lapped here at the moment by these guys. I believe Alex Benoit in the midst of this as well. In fact, you do Benoit up there on the top side. Those drivers battling out with each other, but they are really slowing down everybody in this second pack here. They don't have to go out of the way, though. I mean, the 91 and 18 are battling it out with each other, and that means that these guys just can't find a way through. 10 laps to go. Thinking about the middle for the 31. Is he going to commit? No, he won't. He's going to end up backing out of that one as the 81 shuts the door. Still got all these fights started to develop a little bit deeper in the field as well, but they've more kind of pitter-pattered out as the races gone along. They were nice and tight and constantly fighting it out side by side with each other, but they have since kind of broken apart for a good chunk of this race. As check back in on the rest of your lead pack. The 28 has gotten clear. Jack Cooper clears Benoit for the high side. It looks like they're going to look to get around the outside lane of Chris Law's number 18. Still counting the laps down from Iowa Speedway as Mitchell Hodak has taken off with race lead, 5.2 seconds clear of Jack Cooper, and still putting cars a lap down. He just got around Kyle Sadler, and he's now got Colin Cropley and Paul Castle in his sights. There's move for second place. Denny Marks, the inside of Jack Cooper in turns 1 and 2. Trying to take that one around the inside line here, but Cooper's fighting it back on the top line. And Danny Kane still in the midst of this fight as well, as he is still stuck on that inside line at the moment and can't find a hole. The 28 way up to the top side. He get around that 46 this time around to retake second place. He's going to poke the nose out when he gets to turn 1, but Danny Barnes has just got such a run around the inside of turns 1 and 2. Jack Cooper, though, still going to remain in touch with him. He wants to try to find a way to get back around the 46. But he's also got Denny Kane fighting the inside line as well of the 28 car. So I don't think Cooper's going to be able to retake that second position with just 3 laps left to go. Try as he may, there's just no time, and he's used up all the speed I think that 28 car has underneath him. As we start the penultimate lap, .875 of a mile Speedway. Mitchell Hodag will round turns 3 and 4, and he will take the white flag. Up to 15th place has been lapped. Not be up to 14th place. Mitchell Hodag dominates another race. Off of turn number 4, Mitchell Hodag wins the Tour Modified race in Iowa. Once again, with all drivers across the line, we'll take a rundown of your official post-race results, and it is Mitchell Hodag up there on the winner's circle with Denny Marks down in second place. How about Danny Kane, though, picking up a third place in those final couple of laps there? Jack Gruber will be in fourth with Nathan Norman down in fifth. Eric Monaco is sixth with Ray Patrick in seventh. Levi Menard is in eighth with one Rocco Mulder down in ninth place. Mitchell Bryan lost 4 spots of the day. He'll finish in 10th to round out to the top 10. Ty Lawrence is in 11th with Joey Renshaw in 12th. LJ Toledo is in 13th with Michael Brown in 14th. Isaac Lovender is 15th. Paul Castle lost 6 positions. He is down to 16th place. Then you got Colin Cropley, Kyle Sadler, Alex Benoit, Chris Law, and Gray Larson 15th on back, finishing this race laps down. And to the updated championship standings exiting tonight, Mitchell Hodag wins another one. Now is going to be about 7 points clear of Mitchell O'Brien. Still very tight, though. Second on back through 7th place, 8th place of the points, separated by just a meager 7 points. It's going to be about all the time we're going to have for one day then here from the short track thunder at the Iowa Speedway. I want to once again thank everybody for taking the time to join us for more short track racing action. Next time we come out to play, it'll be over at South Boston Speedway, where the stock division, SK Modifieds, and Pro Late Models will be back for more. We'll see you all there.